Good evening, everybody. I want to welcome you to the Clay County Board of Education's August board meeting. We'll go ahead and get started, and we're down a couple of members this evening. We've got Danny is attending over the phone, so he's on the speakerphone. Danny, I'm going to tell him about you if that's okay. He's at home with the shingles in his eye, and so he's having some trouble with his vision and light sensitivity and stuff like that. So we want to be mindful of Danny and his situation. And as most of y'all know, Ms. Crawford is in the hospital still. She suffered a stroke about 3 weeks ago. And so she's still in the hospital recovering from that. And so just want to be mindful of the two of them. And if it's okay, we're going to start this evening with just a moment of silence for Kelly and for Danny both. We can do that. Thank you. And we'll start Mr. Caldwell if you would mind to read the pledge of allegiance.
Attention. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Ross, do you mind reading the mission statement?
The mission of Clay County Schools is to build high-quality learning environments that ensure all students learn at a high level.
And the only announcement we have this evening is just our next regular meeting will be here in the boardroom September 22nd at 6 o'clock. I'll entertain a motion that we approve the agenda as it was presented in front of you and as it was emailed.
Make a motion to approve.
All in favor? Thank you. Any public comment, Angel? No. Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and move right into our recognition section, and we'll start with summer experiences, and we have Mr. Overland with the high school.
You guys just want to stand up? All right. Good evening, Clay County. A lot of times we think of teenagers in the summer as just, maybe having a summertime job or, doing their sports or their band camps, things like that, or, sleeping till noon on Sundays. But these three have really done some exceptional things this summer, and we wanted to recognize them for kind of going above and beyond with some special experiences. First is Kaylee Bowers. Kaylee attended the Appalachian STEM Academy this summer. This was in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. It was 2 weeks, is that right? So she had experiences in science, technology, engineering, and math. And she's here tonight with her folks, Marvin and Trina Bowers, and we just wanted to recognize her for doing something special this summer. Kaylee Bowers is going to be an 11th grader, is that? Yeah. Time flies. So congratulations. Thank you. All right, and now we have Dalton Hunt. Dalton actually had 3 different experiences. I don't think they were in the summer as much as in the spring, but Dalton is a rising senior, class of 26, and he had 3 different experiences in North Carolina government as a page. So this was with State Senator Kevin Corbin, State Representative Mark Gillespie, and also Governor Josh Stein. Is that right? I got all that right? Yeah. So that's just tremendous, and we want to congratulate you for doing that, going above and beyond. Dalton Hunt. All right, and don't leave yet. That's right. You can move down there, but you can't leave until we get a picture. And last is Wyatt James. Wyatt is here with his mom, Anika James. Is Amy here also? Anika's here. Wyatt is also a rising senior. I can't say rising. They are seniors now. We had the first day of school. So Wyatt is a senior, member of the class of 2026. He attended the Tar Heel Boys State, which was a week-long program in June at Catawba College. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. So this is the last year it's at Catawba College. Robert with the American Legion was telling me just before the meeting that it's going to be moved to Chowan University next summer. But this is a really great program where students learn about leadership, public speaking, government, the political system, all at the state level. So it's a big program. Boys from all over North Carolina come to attend it, and Wyatt represented Hayesville High School. So thank you, Wyatt. Before we take a photo, do you all have any questions for any of these three?
Oh, I have questions.
Ms.
All the
Godfrey.
questions, yes. I would love to know from each of you what your favorite part of the experience was.
I can go first. So I think my favorite part of the Page experiences was probably meeting the senator, representative, and the governor, and just learning about how legislation gets passed and just getting insight into that kind of stuff. So it was amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part was probably getting to meet like-minded people
Yeah?
in the same community.
Yeah. What about you, Wyatt?
My favorite part about it was meeting all the different people from the different areas and listening to their different ideas about how to better govern the state. And
Yeah. Awesome.
And I did mention two of the folks, but I drew a blank. For whatever reason, I didn't mention Melissa Hunt is here with Dalton. So thank you for being here also. Anything else?
Could you share one takeaway that you had from your experience?
The takeaway I had from my experience is probably just how complex the state government is. You would think that it's pretty simple. They just pass bills, write legislation, but they do more than that, and it's just not as seen as you think it would be. So it's pretty interesting.
Right.
I thought it was pretty insane, like how close where the atomic bomb was built is to us, and how little is known about it.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was interesting to learn about all the
Government processes.
Yeah, all the government processes that go into state parties and different government.
Yeah. My last question is, would you recommend it? We have, we're always looking for opportunities. Would you recommend someone else doing the same experience? You think it's worth your
I
time?
100% recommend anyone that's interested in government, interested in careers in maybe public service to do these programs, as they really do build up your character and help you learn a lot. So
I would highly recommend it. It's not fun.
Was yours a 2-week program?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah, I would recommend going to Boy State. It's really fun learning about all the people there, and it was an interesting experience.
And there's also a girls' state as well. So we mentioned Boys State, but they have for both genders, yes.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions?
Any questions?
I got my questions out of the way.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's
We
good.
want to get a photo of you all.
Yeah.
Sit in front here.
Do you want us to hold the papers up?
Yes, hold those up. Not for your face.
Jason, just there you go.
Thank you guys so much. He's not here, so he's gonna come, but he's not here yet. So we'll just get back to him.
Get back in, okay. And Mr. Livers isn't here right now, so we're going to come back around to recognizing Mr. Livers shortly. So we'll go ahead and move into the report section, and we'll start with the superintendent's report. I don't know,
Yeah.
Stephen will do the maintenance.
He's gonna do the maintenance
Okay.
report. Maybe all my stuff together. Okay, well, just have a few quick updates for you. Adrian, if you'll just skip over the maintenance slide, we'll come back to that. Want to share, obviously it was the first day of school, tell you a little bit about that. We have our enrollment listed up on the screen. It's pretty similar to last year, but you can see the breakdown by school. 361 at HPS, 298 at HES, 300 exactly at HMS, and 369 at HHS, for a total of 1,328 kiddos, including pre-K. So that's exciting. Just to tell you a little bit about the things that have happened, I was on the radio a couple of days ago, and one of the things they ask is, so what do you all do during the teacher work day? So we did have 2 weeks of teacher work days, and so I thought it might be helpful for you guys to know kind of things that have happened over the last couple of weeks. Also wanted to mention that our bus radios are fully installed, up and running, and we actually solved a few problems today over the bus radios of making sure kids got where they needed to go. There's always a little bit of confusion on the first day, and so that was very helpful. So we had an opening meeting. Truett Church was gracious enough to let us use their facility for our opening meeting while we're without an auditorium, and so that was a lot of fun. We had a good mix of fun and fellowship, but also just talking about the year ahead and making sure we all are focused and ready for the start of school. And then the Ministerial Association served us a delicious lunch. Robert was involved in that. It was just fantastic. It was, we had barbecue, we had a baked potato bar. It was so good. And then ice cream sundaes with bananas and all the toppings. And it's just a really great time of fellowship. They provided gift cards to all of our teachers for the office supply store. It was just a great time, and the church really did a great job of encouraging us during that time. We've also been very busy the last couple of weeks. Every school has been trained on our new student information system. So it was previously Power School. We've moved to Infinite Campus. DPI is asking us to refer to that as the NCSIS, which is the North Carolina Student Information System, and so that's what you'll hear it called. Each school did their own NCSIS training with the school leaders. There's 2 school leaders at every school that are kind of taking charge of that effort. We've done lots of curriculum training, to name a few: UFly, which is a phonics program, iExcel, which is a supplemental assessment program, Amplify Reading for the middle school, quizzes. I could keep going. There was lots of curriculum training that has gone on. Our middle school did their Global Schools Kickoff with Participate Learning. Each school had their open house. Each school had their own school staff meetings. Our EC staff participated in autism training. And so that's just kind of a glimpse at what's happened these last 2 weeks, but certainly it doesn't list it all. But they're very busy days for us, and we spend a lot of time making sure that the start of school is smooth and everyone's prepared for the year ahead. Also wanted to give an update on the Hayesville Intermediate School and just share with you, we had last week our progress update. They have obviously in August continued with the masonry, continued roughing in the plumbing as needed in the walls, and continued roughing in electrical as needed. Area C, that's the classroom wing, the welding was completed and inspection was done, and the concrete deck is now being placed. Area A steel has been erected and welding is 90% complete. Area B, we have set the steel everywhere, masonry was completed. The masonry CMU walls are about 96% complete. Once completed, the remaining steel in Area B can be set. Diamonds have been poured in Area C, Area A and B are ongoing. The foundation that was left out so that the crane access could access the work site has also been completed, and the cafeteria pour is scheduled for this week. The work continued for the rest of August and September is continuing with the masonry walls. Set the remaining steel and joist in Area B. Welders will continue welding out and installing miscellaneous steel. Continue with installing decking throughout and pouring remaining diamonds. And there was 0 weather days in July for rain. So that was an exciting, that hasn't happened yet, so we were really excited about that. So that's just kind of an overview. I will just say that it was really great to have kids back on campus today. I felt like everything flowed smoothly. There's always a few hiccups here and there, but traffic for the most part, people kind of were in the groove from last year, and aside from just pointing people in the right direction, things flowed really smoothly. Kids seemed excited, staff seemed excited, which was overall a great day.
Good.
Yeah. Any questions for me?
Thank you. So next we'll move into the action section of the agenda, and the first action item is the 90-day probationary period. Ms. Owens, have that.
And my laptop. Happy to recommend some seconds. All right. So for the 90-day probationary period, we had discussed this last month. We're looking at this. There's times when people apply and they're hired and we think they're a fabulous fit. They think this is where they want to be. But then down the road, either we realize they're not a great fit or they realize they really aren't a good fit to work with young children. And we've seen this recurring, I'd say, for the past 2.5, 3 years. And a solution to this would be to have a 90-day probationary hiring period where it's a benefit to both people, to the school district and the person being hired. If at any point in those 90 days they decide, hey, this just isn't for me, they can choose to leave with a little short notice, and there's no repercussions. We wouldn't give them a bad reference. It's just a mutually agreed upon. They weren't a good fit. For us, if we realize this person's just not a great fit to work with children, we've got that 90-day period to fill that out, conduct some evaluations, and then at the end of the 90 days, if they just really aren't the best person to work with children, then we would end that employment term. But it wouldn't be counted like a full termination. It's just the 90 days ended and we didn't continue. So I'm asking the board to approve that and let us move forward with that starting the next day.
So you have that 90-day probationary employment document that's been in your Google Drive. So I'll entertain a motion that we approve that as presented by Ms. Owens.
I make a motion to approve the 90-day probationary period.
We have a motion, Mr. Ash seconds, all in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then next, the federal programs annual plan.
Yes. Alright, so there's 2 dates listed on this. I did this presentation on August 19th for the general public, and then this is the almost exact same presentation. I just got some new information an hour and a half ago that I've added to the end of it about one of our funds. So, next slide. So, we have representatives on each school improvement team. That is a requirement. You have your principal, assistant principal, instructional personnel, support personnel, teacher assistants, and then always at least a parent on that team. And they help build these plans of school improvement for each school. Next slide. Our district leadership team is comprised of our superintendent, myself, the finance officer, testing and accountability and power school chief officer, which is now in CCS, school administrators, technology director, and school nutrition director. Next slide. So the programs we'll talk about today are Title I, Title II, Title III, Title IV, and RLIS. And each of these is explained here, but on the coming slides I'll go a little bit more in depth. Title I is for our low-income students, schools with a high number of low-income students. Title II is for teacher improvement. Title III is for our, language instruction and limited English proficient. Title IV is our student support and academic enrichment, and then RLIS stands for Rural Low-Income Schools. All right, so with our consolidated program, the goal is to improve student growth in reading and language arts, math, increase family engagement in our schools, and to improve student classroom behavior and academic outcomes. Next slide. So for Title I, again, that is to provide assistance to the schools with high percentages of children from low-income families. And we look at the free and reduced meal application forms, which we go by CEP now because we are a district-wide program. Okay? So we have our parent-family engagement policies. These are reviewed in that public meeting if anyone has questions about those. Next slide, please. No. Wait, go back one more, I'm sorry. Okay, so we have an opportunity for parents to get input on those and to say whether they agree with it, disagree with it, if they feel like there's changes. And at this point, there has not been any changes since these policies were updated. All right, next slide. This is just a sample of our elementary school parent-student contract. They do this every year at the beginning of the year. It gives the responsibilities to the school, the parent, and the students. The parent signs it, the teacher signs it, the student signs it, the principal signs it. And this is for every student in each of our Title I schools. Next slide. The review of our family engagement policy. These are the policies that are referred. Our first ones were adopted in 2016. The current policy for 1320 was a revision in 2017, and for 1310, the last revision was 2018. We have put out Google Forms for parents to give input, and at this point, we've not had any changes recommended. So, next slide. So, schools served by Title I. We have Hayesville Primary School, which is pre-K through 2nd, and Hayesville Elementary School, which is 3rd through 5th. They also, that whole program initiative is to improve the student outcomes in math, English language arts, and the family plan with Title I. Next slide. So for Title I, if you'll notice, we had a reduction of $23,855 this year, which is humongous. It's equivalent to the amount of half of an annual salary of a teacher with 6 years experience. It's sickening that this has happened. I mean, as soon as I got this information this year, I sent it out to our principals. There's no rhyme or reason why this reduction happens. We're thankful to get the money we did, but you can imagine how much that kind of a loss impacts our schools. Next slide. So this year we do have $65,000 carryover from last year, and that sounds like a lot, but the intention is that this money, when we apply for it, it goes from October 1 this year to September 30th next year. So this carryover money is actually, we hold that purposefully to help us start off the new school year with a little bit of cushion until our new money comes in October 1st. So last year's money paid 30% of all 4 pre-K teacher salaries, 3 of our HPS teacher salaries, and 2 of our HES teacher salaries. Okay? So this year, we have an estimated enrollment, which we just saw the numbers are a little different. HPS had 296 when I created this, and HES had 298, so they were right there neck and neck. And so we're required to take a proportionate share for each. You've got the primary school at 49.8%, the elementary school at 50.2%. So the very beginning pot of money, we have to decide what district set-asides we're going to have. And our district chooses to put that 30% of each teacher's salary in the preschool from this set-aside. So that this year, the estimate, without any raises yet, or when the budget finally passes, we'll have to readjust this amount. But right now, that estimate out of this coming 2025-26 school year into September of the next year will be a little over $94,000 to help in our preschool program. That's our early learning initiative for Title I. And then homeless set aside, we are required to keep at least 1 pupil allotment amount, which ours is about $270, but we go ahead and put a flat 500 there, and that's just to go to help those students if we don't have any other means to help them. Clay County Community for Students always helps. We rarely ever had to dip into that money, and if we don't dip into it, we just use it the next year. Next slide. So with this year's planning allotment of $388,847, our district set aside for preschool was $94,065. Indirect cost is $19,850. That leaves us remaining $274,930 and some change. So when you take those proportionate shares and break those down into each school's proportionate amount, that breaks into about $137 each school, give or take a little bit. So what we chose to do this year, what the teams decided and discussed, was that we would pay for 1 teacher at each school. That's to help with class size reduction. And then we will split 1 academic interventionist between the 2 schools. And that's a need that we felt like we needed for, since the ESSER funds ran out, we couldn't have interventionists anymore, didn't have funds for that. So that's how we're using the money to split between those 2 schools. And then any remaining dollars will be used for student supplies and curriculum, but we have to keep in mind any teacher pay increases that come with the new budget will come out of both of those amounts. Next slide. So Title II is to increase the academic achievement of all students by helping the schools and districts improve teacher and principal quality and ensure that all teachers are highly qualified. Next slide. So again, we lost money here, not as drastic as we did in Title I, but we lost $3,300. We don't like to lose any money, but we're fortunate that we got something. So we use this to pay for mentors for our beginning teachers up through year 3. We have 11 beginning teachers this year, so that's about $5,500. Stipends for the district and school MTSS coordinators, for MTSS and SEB, social emotional behavior coordinators, for PD for any new curriculum in the schools, PD and travel expenses, so if we send somebody to a conference or to specific workshops and things like that, we handle all those costs. And if any funds are remaining, we always put in there that we will reimburse teachers their license renewal or exam fees if we have asked them to move into other positions that they weren't licensed for. Okay. Title III, it's just one slide. We don't take that money. It's so little. It's usually about $1,100 to $1,500. And the amount of time and effort that goes into that to get that little bit of money, and then the auditing process for that fund, historically, Clay County has never accepted that funding. So again, we're not going to accept that fund this year. Title IV is for providing students with a well-rounded education, supporting safe and healthy students, and supporting the effective use of technology, but we cannot use more than 15% of this fund on that technology. Next slide. So here we lost $1,200, which, in looking at everything else, that's not bad at all. We use this to pay for our behavior tracking software and SEL app, and social emotional learning app, and social emotional learning curriculum, and we pay for all of our counselors to go to the state conference and their memberships for that. And we also use some of this money for AIG and EL initiatives. And last year we used it to supplement the cost of some Chromebooks that we needed to replace that were just to the point that we had to do that. So, next slide. And RLIS is Rural Low Income Schools. It provides grant funds to rural school districts that serve concentrations of children from low-income families. Next slide. We've got nothing this year, and we're not going to get anything. We just found out, like I said, about an hour and a half ago. Next slide. So this was the explanation that's given to me, that in order for a district to qualify, 20% or more of our children aged 5 to 7 living in the county that are served by our LEA must be from families with incomes below the poverty line, based on the data from the U.S. Census Bureau of Small Area Income and Poverty Estimates. The LEA must also have a school code of 32, 33, 41, 42, or 43. Our school code is 43, so we meet the second bullet. Our percentile was 19.941. We missed it by 59 thousandths of a percentage. And we lost $32,000. So that was our heartbreaker this afternoon. And this is money that our primary and our elementary schools desperately need. We use it for supplemental materials every year. Sometimes we use it to pay for tutorial services. So this was a blow when we found this out this afternoon. And that is, if you have any questions, that's our full plan.
That RLIS amount represents primary and elementary together, right?
Yes.
That 32,000.
That 32,000 is for those schools. And
Okay.
we split that the same way we do the Title I proportionate.
Sure.
Sure.
Okay.
And I'm just asking that you approve our plan for this year.
Very good. I guess very good. Not good, but is what it is, I guess. Because all that, again, is federal. Right? That's all federal
It
funds,
is,
right?
and
just to
the
remind
thing
you
to-
of that.
Yeah, the thing to explain is schools are state funded and federal funds are supplementary. It's meant to supplement what we are supposed to receive from our states and our counties. And it's meant to enhance that. And this is not money we should always count on getting. We get used to the money and we get comfortable with that money, but historically over the past 3 years, our dollars amounts have declined, but we have never not received RFIS. So that was a huge blow to us, and there was no notification. I just happened to, that's my medicine alarm, sorry. I emailed the guy today and said, what's going on, we need to know, and that's when we got the information. They don't even send a notification out that you're not getting it, because it's supposed to be supplemental, not supplemental. So, yeah.
Well, thank you for that report, Angela, for doing that program, putting that plan together. Is there a motion that we approve the federal program's annual plan?
Motion approved.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Caldwell seconds, all in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you want to go back to Steve and go to the end and come back to Steve?
We can go back to Steve. Is he here?
He's here.
Okay. So we're going to step back up to the recognition section since Mr. Lyons just walked in the door, if that's okay. Put you on the spot, walk to the door and get put front and center.
Come on up here. So the first thing we had that involved Mr. Livers was just recognition, and I'm going to let him speak to that a little bit, but anytime we have, our teachers and they've passed their national boards, we recognize them. Anytime they gain some sort of certification that shows they're working hard to achieve new goals and to push themselves to be better and better. And so the same is true with our other staff members besides teachers, and that's true of Mr. Livers. And so I wanted to just recognize him. He recently took another test, a certification test, and it is for heating group 3. Is that an I or what?
Class 1.
Class 1. So what I understand in my conversations with Steve is this is like the PhD of the program. He's taken several, and so this was kind of the big one. And I know he worked very hard. He took a class that he had to really bury himself in a room for days at a time to prepare for this test. And it was a bear, from what I understand. But he passed that, and so I just wanted us to recognize that accomplishment. I know it was no easy task from our conversations about it, and I'm sure he can tell you more about it. I'm sure they would love to know, but that's what I can tell you about it. I'll let you share more about that.
Okay. So what this is it's the State Board of Examiners contractor's license, and it's HVAC contractors. What this allows me to do is do anything I want to do really in HVAC business industry, up to a certain tonnage. They require different licenses for, as we talked about before, with chillers and things like that. But this is more like residential and like commercial, up to 15 tons, which means I can do anything here that's not, water related or anything like that. And I can go into business anytime I wanted to, if I wanted to. So
Let's not talk about that.
no.
Let's
I did this. It's been 30 years in the business, and I thought it was just a time for me to do it just for myself, and I don't plan on going anywhere.
We've told him we can't get any ideas. We're just glad that we can, benefit from his hard work.
And it's the hardest test that we can take. And, the Lord's really blessed me. Very good.
So when you finish this, we want to get a picture, but we'll let you do this.
Okay.
The other thing that I ask Mr. Livers is to just share an update on all the summer maintenance projects and let you know what's been going on around campus. Some of it you can see very easily, and others maybe not so much. And so I'm just going to let him share with you kind of all the things that have happened this summer. And you have a copy as well in your board folders. So I'll turn it over to you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for allowing me to come up and speak about this today. We try to give an outlook of our projects, because a lot of people, they drive through the campus and see the outside of the campus and say, oh, well, but they don't really know what goes on inside. And you got to have healthy bones to have a good body, So we broke down kind of in building wise what we did versus buildings and campus wide and things like this. I'll start with central building, and I don't have my glasses, so just bear with me when I try to read. Central building, we had to do some bathroom repairs up here, and one of the biggest things we've been battling in central is our HVAC equipment, because it's so old. The HVAC equipment in this building is as old as the building. And so we're trying to make these things still continue to run. And we're running out of ideas with parts and things like this because, I mean, we're looking at 40-something-year-old equipment, you know. So, but we've had to tackle that this summer. The primary school, we've installed 75% of our wall board, and part of the reason for that is it's not 100% is because we had a lot of issues with the company that we bought the materials from. Wait until the last minute for deliveries and things like that, and it really threw us behind schedule. But what we did get done looks very good, and Heather can attest to that, and it's going to really serve a great purpose for these kids. You know how they drag their hands on the wall and feet and all of these things, but it really looks good and professional, and these guys really worked hard and done a great job. We also looked at the playground at the primary school because we have some kids that are, you know, got some disabilities. So what we did is we all come up with an idea of putting a sidewalk in the playground, and then we're going to come back and put rubber matting on that. And what that'll allow it to do is kids that can't get up and run, there are certain toys on the side of the playground that they can actually access now and play with these toys and be part of the other kids enjoying recess, you know. So, and it really looks good. It turned out real nice, and we're real happy about that. Elementary school, we went through and replaced a lot of the ceiling tiles in the office area and in the middle classroom area that we didn't get to last year. So we just revisited that while we were waiting on wallboard. We had some open time, so which is very rare that we have any downtime whatsoever, but we was able to jump on that. We also installed some gravel for extra parking at the primary school. I don't want to forget that because we've been having some issues with parents and stuff, you know, when they have their graduations and things like that, and they have to pull over in the grass and do all these things. So we cut up some of the ground down there and installed some gravel, so there's some nicer parking, less mud and less things to track in. But also we had some AC repair in elementary. Of course, again, this equipment is the same age as the elementary school, and it is very old. So, you know, we've been doing a lot of work down there. We took out some, in the foyer, we took out some of the old light fixtures and installed LEDs. So that way we're looking at more sustainability for the school, and you know, we've been trying to do that in every building. We removed and replaced underpinning in one of the mobile units, in the EC mobile unit. Looks a lot better. We add some fencing area behind the EC mobile unit for the kids in that particular setting to have a safer place to play. And because you know, what we've done is we took a big section, and that way the teachers feel safer about letting the kids go out and play in this certain setting. We repaired both playgrounds, and we also added some rubber matting in the main elementary playground. So what this does is the same direction we were trying to go with the primary school. It allows kids that maybe have some disabilities to be able to get out there and enjoy the playground some. We added steps, and Miss Lee wanted to revitalize the garden, Joey's garden, in between the two pods. So what we did is we actually built steps. We took out the handrail and we built steps that go down into the garden. And then we put a gate over it, and so that way the kids, you know, just can't run down and run free down there without having to get through this gate. But it really turned out nice. The guys really done a good job on that. We also added a gate going into that EC mobile unit to kind of, you know, help with holding in some things and being a safer area. We built some shelving in classrooms. We added some hooks for backpacks and things like that. We added some gravel around the roundabout, and we also done our landscaper, when he come in, he redone that whole roundabout down there and added some creek rock. We took out all of the shrubs and put all new flowers in there, and kind of brought that memorial back up. You know, and the funny thing about that memorial is when I was in Danny Jones's class in high school in Carpenter here, we built that memorial. So to see it, you know, able to come back to life again and things like that was real nice. We removed all that old white lattice around the playground, and we added some railing in there. And then Miss Carissa had her custodian go through and repaint all the brown, and brought that texture back, and it looked real nice. The middle school, we didn't do a lot. Miss Clapsaddle really didn't demand a lot from us this year. We did add some exhaust for a wood burning situation that one of our teachers had, and I had to do some AC repair. Again, this old equipment is really wearing us out, so we do what we can to keep it running. At the high school, we removed some lockers for a section that Mr. Oberlin wanted to make a sitting area. So we removed some of the old blue lockers that were in there, and we repaired the floor, and it turned out real nice, Mr. Oberlin. Real happy with that. We removed some stair lights and replaced a lot of stair lights. That center stairway is very high. So what we decided to do, instead of going up there and popping bulbs in, we just stripped everything and replaced it all and put LEDs in there. So we don't have to we had to build actual scaffolding and everything over top of that stairway to get up there. And so we replaced all of that with LEDs, be more efficient, and hopefully we don't have to do that so often. If you've not been in the high school gym, it's been refaced. We contracted all line painting in. They come in, and I had them brighten it up in there a little bit with some little brighter white. And it turned out nice, real happy with it. They've done a great job in there. And but it looks good if you've not been in there. We've done some office moving. The state come in and repaired our junior parking lot for us, which was a great thing. That helped us out a bunch. And it looks real good. They come in, they put the chat down, tarred over it, and it looks real good. We repaired some lockers at the field house, and we had to do some tree trimming. Our track and field area in that back corner is in a kind of a swampy area, and the trees just grow crazy. So what we did is we come back and trimmed a lot of the trees on the right-hand side, because one of the track long jump runs, it gets moss growing on it and all these things because it don't get no sunlight back there. So we trimmed back some trees, so hopefully that'll help that out quite a bit. We had to replace some water lines in the concession stand. We just went through, tore out all the water supply lines and replaced all of them. And been fighting this gym chiller. Hopefully we're on the back side of that. I had to work on that thing a lot this summer. But Lord willing, we're really going to get on the back side of that when we replace this chiller, and I'm really looking forward to that. Other projects, we had to repair some air conditioning units in the food labs. I added a new mini split in the nursing mobile unit, because them old BART units, they're not really worth changing out. I mean, you just put and we hope sometime in the near future them things are going to go away. So I chose to go with a mini split because we can use the mini split anywhere on campus. And so we installed a new mini split in for them. Of course, maintenance, we always do a lot of preventive maintenance on ice machines. We do water filters for the bottle filling stations, filters for all the air conditioning units. We take care of all of that. We got together with Adrian, our safety director, and the boss, and we got together and ordered these safety locks. And when you go through the doors in some of the buildings now, they have these things in the floor. And what that does is when the school goes into lockdown, there's this red latch that they can walk over there and slide it right down, and nobody can come in that door. Believe me, we tried. And we beat against the door. We done everything we could, and it's the ideal thing. And we installed them all over the campus. And it was quite a project, but we got it done and very happy about that. We've been having to do some adjustments on the doors in the primary school, settling, adjustments in the middle school. Things like that happen all the time. You know, our weed spraying, gym floors finishing. We added some parking lights. We had the EMC come in. They put new LED lights down in the junior parking lot. We got a new light here at the concession stand because that light was really dim. So we had LEDs put in there, and we had them install a new pole right across the road at the parking lot right over here and install LED lights over there. Some things coming in the near future. This coming weekend, the holiday weekend, we're having the high school lockers painted. And that was another thing that should have been done over the summer, but it was one of those scheduling conflicts. Things happen, you know, and we was hoping to get it done, but they're going to come in over the weekend. They're going to have that done, painted, and when the kids come back to school on Tuesday, everything will be back to normal. They'll just have some painted lockers. We're going to install a new AC unit in Mr. Oberlin's office. That unit failed, and as far as economically, we got a mini split. I'm gonna throw it in there, you know, and take care of Mr. Oberlin's office. That office, you know, as you walk in the main right there, his office is on the right, and it's kind of isolated from the rest of the building anyway. And so with the units being in the teacher's lounge, there's 3 units in that ceiling. And to tear all that ceiling out, to take that unit out, to replace that unit, buy one, replace it, tap it back into the water, the chilled water, it was just more economical just to put a mini split in there for him, and you know, it took care of the situation. We got some problems with the air conditioning in the weight room at the middle school gym. I got a part ordered for that. We're going to repair that unit, and of course the high school gym chiller change out and air handler change out. We've been able to pull the trigger on that to go forward with it, and it's under trying to get scheduled right now. But I guarantee you they'll probably want to schedule that and do that during the winter time, because that's more feasible to change out a chiller in the winter than it is in the summer. So any questions or comments about? I just want to say, I always brag on the maintenance department. These guys work very hard, and anytime there's a request put in, they get it done. There's no, hey, did you get, no, it's already done, signed off, and closed. And I'm real proud of these guys, and we got a great group of guys, and I tell you what, they really love working here and getting things done here. They're hard workers, and I really appreciate everything they do. So, anything?
Thank you, sir. It's a long list.
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you.
There's always stuff to do.
All right, thank you, sir.
You don't have that. Come up here.
Get this little piece of paper. You get this little copy.
Get your copy. Thank you, Steve.
We'll go back to the action item. Sorry about the bounce around there. So the next item there in the action item is electing an acting chair, with acting vice chair, sorry. So again, with Ms. Crawford out, for the time being, there's certain things that we have to have a chair and vice chair signatures for. So we're going to, by advice of the attorney, Mr. Swartz, we're going to nominate an acting vice chair to serve in this office back across the y'all. So I'll entertain a motion that we have an acting vice chair.
Make a motion to nominate Robert as vice chair.
Mr. Ash has a motion for Mr. Colwell. Is there a second to that? Any objections to that? Yes, that's for that. Okay, all in favor of that, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. So, and then the next action item is the first amendment for the superintendent's contract. Kind of hard to believe that we're already halfway through Ms. Godfrey's first contract, and so, the board has decided to renew that. The longest term of superintendent can have is for 4 years. So that contract will be renewed until June 30th of 2029. So we do have that first amendment, so I'll entertain a motion that we approve that. I think Ms. Godfrey's contract. All has a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Jenkins, all in favor? Yes, you don't want to. Next, we have the approval of the consent agenda. We have some policies there to approve the student promotion, accountability, training of parents, students, employees, and staff student relationships. And the child commission related to this, child safety is up there. Those were the first read last month, and I think this month. And then the approval of July 28th, 2025, regular session board meeting minutes is there. There's a motion to approve that consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve consent agenda.
Second. Favor, say aye. The next one, our board training, September 8th at 6 o'clock is the next one. And we have some policies for first read there. School nutrition services, insurance for student transportation and license. Any other comments or questions from the board? If not, I'll entertain a motion to go into closed session.
Second.